Hi, everybody. Very good evening. I hope everybody is excited for this particular webinar, and I can see a good number of people are joining in. Even it's going to be an interesting webinar for all of you. We will be discussing a lot more thing about how you can shift your career from non-IT to high-paying data analyst career. And we have an amazing guest with us, Shailja Mishra. She will be telling everything like tips and tricks and all her experience, everything from very scratch to an advanced level. We will be discussing all the serious and the toughest question. But before we start, guys, I just wanted to check once again with you all if you can see me and hear me well, then I can probably go ahead and start the webinar. Hello, everybody. Can you see me and hear me well? Just comment down the chat section. If yes, then I'll just probably start the webinar and, we can begin. So I can see people are joining in. Wow. So I've started getting yes from the people that they can see me and hear me well. That's really great. Wow. So, guys, in this particular webinar, what exactly we're going to do? I'm sure that you must have got my WhatsApp messages and Telegram messages that yes, we are just going to start this webinar with our guest speaker, Shailja Mishra. What exactly we are going to discuss over here that everything about data analyst, what data analyst is, and what sort of a job a data analyst people do, why it is on boom, why it is the safest and the most easiest and high paying career, and why you should join, why you should get a career transition to data analyst, why it is high paying, everything we're going to discuss, and how you can become data analyst, how anybody can become a data analyst, how everything like, I mean, I will be discussing everything over here. So for sure, somebody's asking where is that girl in the picture. That girl is our guest and she will be joining in just 10 minutes. Don't worry. All right. So moving on, I just wanted to know, guys, from where you are, guys, specifically. Like, I just wanted to know that I can see a huge number of people are joining in. So just wanted to know, guys, like from where you guys are in. Are you from Mumbai, Bangalore, Hyderabad? You can just comment down your and I will just see that from where you guys are in. So I'll be having a better idea about the you know geography, that from which state or the place people are more coming over here. I can see the Mumbai, Nagpur, and Karnataka, Jammu. That's nice. That's nice. Manipur, UP, Noida, Bangalore, Pune, UK, Hyderabad. All right. Saurabh Singh written the state name as Saurabh Singh. It's not. That's great. Okay, I'm from Hyderabad, Navi Mumbai. That's great. I can see all the people all over the India have joined it. I'm really very happy. So what I'm gonna make sure today in this particular webinar is I'm gonna make sure that this webinar is gonna be one of the most valuable webinar for you. That one of the most interesting webinar for you, because from your side I'll be asking the silliest and the toughest question to the guest speaker and all the hesitation that you have been. All right. So we're gonna solve all our issues and all our problem, all our hesitation that we have when it comes to data analyst, and we will be solving it, and we will be discussing with one-on-one with our guest speaker, and we'll get it done so that we could take any actions towards it. All right. So here it is me. My name is Amir Akhtar. I'm a career consultant, and I've helped more than 200 plus people to get a job into data analyst. I have total 5 years of experience in tech. So how I'm going to help you? So I have interacted with more than 200 people and I've helped them into finding a data analytics job. So I exactly know that what sort of a problem or hesitations or the kind of a fear people do have, when it comes to a career transition, because some of them are 30 plus, some of them are 25 plus, some of them are already in high package, somebody are struggling in the less packages. Somebody thinks that I don't have a coding background and coding is something which is not my cup of tea, so data analyst is something which is not my cup of tea. So clearing all the myths, I will be telling you all the things which you will find very relevant, because I have interacted with all the 200 people who are from non-IT background and some of them from IT. I can clearly understand what sort of a pain people generally go through, what sort of a hesitation they have there in the mind. So we will be discussing all that, why it is important to be on the safer side, and and how you can achieve your the best possible career options as a data analyst with Coding Invaders, being on the safer side. So we will be discussing everything, and just have patience. Keep your questions ready. If your friends have not joined it, share them so that they can join in, and then we can start the webinar. So you will find my LinkedIn link in the chat section. So if you want to connect, you can connect with me. I'll be personally helping you with solving all the problem. So I've already started getting questions from people that somebody's already working into tech and also wanted to switch into this particular field. Somebody is from London and wants to get into a job. All right, all right. So keep your questions ready with you. I'll be picking up every questions and we will be discussing just when the guests will come. All right, because we have kept Q&A session towards the end of this particular webinar. So all the people who will be staying till the end will be having a detailed Q&A sessions. All right, so don't worry. So what exactly we are going to do in this particular webinar? So we are conducting this particular masterclass or a webinar in support of our data analyst course that is from Coding Invaders, because it's one of the most popular program which help you to switch from non-IT to high-paying data analyst career without having technical or a coding background. And the best part is we have more than 93% of placement rate in every single batch. So that's another interesting part. So if I'm saying that coding background is not needed, it means either if you are from a sales, either if you are from you're a mechanical engineer, even if you are from banking, even if you're in operations, even if you are a telesales or BPO or anything, if you have just completed your graduation, you are the right fit for it, and you can definitely live the dream of like the people who are already making 20 lakhs, 30 lakhs, 40 lakhs yearly. So I'll be showing you the path how you can do that too. All right. So moving ahead, I am going to tell you more about the Coding Invaders. So what exactly our mission is in the Coding Invaders? So our mission is to transform the basic people, all the non-IT people, to get into their IT professions with more than 5 lakhs of salary. This is the rarest case. People generally start with 10, 12 or 15, but I'm just taking the worst case scenario. All right, this is the main mission, that if somebody is dreaming and looking at his friend that is from IT background, is dreaming, living his dream life in US, London, high paying. So how I can become that too, even if I don't have a technical or a coding background, you can do that too with Coding Invaders, because we are the leading platforms in a data and a computer science online university in Eastern Europe, and we have more than 22,000 students who have passed out, and we have already trained more than 100 plus companies employees with us, and we have the student which is 40 plus country. They are from different countries, and the best part is the salary hike are from 30% to 400%. And yes, as I said, we have more than 93% of placement record. So this is a brief about the Coding Invaders. More on this at the end of this particular webinar. Moving ahead, so what exactly we are going to do over here? So before I start this particular webinar, I wanted to understand your intention, guys. I'm sure there must be some reason that you have joined in. So just wanted to know that why did you come to this webinar today? What is the main intention? There's a 3 option on the screen, which is just to listen the webinar with no goals. Like if you don't have any intention, just you are here to listen the webinar, that is totally fine. You can just click on the 1. And if you are here to study and looking for the courses, you can choose option number 2. And if you're here for like already you are into this data analyst and wanted to get an expertism into this particular field, then you can come in 3. All right, so I'll have a better idea that what exactly the sort of people we have, so that accordingly I will derive the conversation. So I can clearly see that more than 68% people are here to study and looking for the courses. It seems that people are quite ready and they want to take action. That's pretty nice. And the second highest I can see is 23 to 22% people are more interested towards, they're already studying and they wanted to expand their horizon, and only 5-6% people are like just listening. All right, so we'll make sure that we're gonna cover each and everything for the people who want to study and looking for the courses, and also for the people who are already studying and wanted to get more expertism in that. All right, I have got a pretty good clarity. Thanks for the vote. Moving ahead, so what exactly we want to learn in this particular webinar, guys? So in this particular webinar, we will firstly try to understand who is data analyst, hota kya hai, who is data analyst, and how I can become data analyst, and how to build a successful career as a data analyst. So 3 चीजें हम सीखेंगे: who is data analyst, how to become the one, and how to build a successful career as a data analyst. All right, and I'm sure you must be ready and excited about it to know each and every step. All right, so definitely we're going to discuss that. All right, and we're going to have a detailed conversation with our guest speaker. Now, since you have figured out a time over here in this particular webinar, so it's our responsibility to give you some benefit out of it. All right, because time is something which is very much important. It's one of the valuable assets. So why not to give some benefits to you all? So in this particular webinar, you will be, I will be taking your questions and asking to the speakers, right? Why? Because it's very important. Like if I'll discuss with my friend that, hey, data analyst is a good career or not, whether I'll be a right fit for it or not, like how. So getting an opinion from a friend which may not give you a proper confidence, or which may not give you a proper clarity, but taking an advice and opinion from the expert who is already into the same industry and making something really good in their life, why not to get a reality check directly from the experts who are already working? That will make more sense, right? So I will take the questions from you today and ask you the speaker, and I will try my best to answer everybody's questions. All right. Then everybody will be getting a certificate of participation, whoever will be staying till the end. All right. And at the end of this particular webinar, the data analyst course that we offers, you all will be getting a certificate where you can use it to get an additional huge discount on our courses at the end of this particular webinar. All right. I hope everybody got the clarity. Moving ahead. So here we go. We are going to start. We have our guest speaker, Shailja Mishra. She is from Microsoft. I won't say much. She is herself there to give her an introduction, and I'm sure that you will love it. So, Shailja, passing the mic to you.
Thanks, Amir, for the introduction. Hello, everyone. I've been seeing all your questions in the chat box. So, talking about me, I'm Shailja Mishra. I'm currently working as a data and applied scientist at Microsoft. Before Microsoft, I was working as a data engineer at Fractal Analytics, which is an AI ML based firm. So, yeah, here is me, and I'll be happy to answer all your questions and queries regarding this role.
Perfect. So, Shailja, we just like wanted to, we wanted to get to know more about your qualification background. Why? Because we somewhere trying to relate ourselves with you. So, can you please tell us like more about like how exactly your educational background was, and from where you started your journey, and how many experience overall you have till now, so that we can better understand with you.
Sure. So, Amir, I started from my education perspective. So, I did my graduation from Banastali Vidyapeeth Jaipur in computer science. So, I am a graduate in computer science engineering.
Mm-hmm.
After I passed out, I joined Fractal Analytics, which I mentioned that it's an AI based firm. And there I started my career as a data engineer.
Mm-hmm.
After working for 2 years at Fractal, then I switched to Microsoft. And here I'm working as a data and applied scientist.
Mm-hmm.
So my entire career journey have been around data domain.
All
So this
right.
is what I've been working on, and this is what I love doing.
That's really great. So since you said that like you love doing it, so we would just wanted to understand more about it. Like what exactly you like, best about being a data in the data field. What exactly you like in this thing?
So that's actually a very good question, and I hear this question a lot because not everyone talks about data domain.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone is talking about software engineering, and in college days, we are only told that this is one domain that we can look up for and get a good life and a good
Mm-hmm.
job.
Mm-hmm.
But now a lot of people now know about this data domain, and
Mm-hmm.
they're now understanding the importance of
Mm-hmm.
people, and even the companies are hiring in mass for the people who are talented in data domain.
All
If
right.
you ask me that what is the best thing I like about data is, I've heard this thing from many people that becomes monotonous in
Mm-hmm.
software industry. But from my personal experience, I have never felt that even one single day. And that is the best thing about being a data engineer or a data person, that the work is never monotonous. You have so much of learning every day, even in terms of technology and the big data that you're working. So my best part is I get to learn new things every day because of the changing trends, and I'm able to handle a lot big amount of data that is
Mm-hmm.
very business critical for my company.
Wow.
So yeah, that's motivation to work every day as a data person.
Wow. So it seems that you are quite like this role somewhere giving me a touch that you are somewhere into the most decision making position of Microsoft. All right. It seems that it's very challenging. Okay. So we'll get more idea about it. But before that, we will just start with the very basic. Since you have seen the poll that majority of them wanted to study and looking for the courses, and few of them are like already studying and everything. So let's start from the sketch and try to understand from you that who is basically this data analyst people, what their main goals are, what exactly the key responsibility and task people do in this particular profession.
Sure, sure. One of the most common doubt that people have is what actually is a data analyst. This term is talked by a lot of people, no, but they don't understand.
Hmm.
So I'll try to explain it in very normal way so that everyone can get it rather than using any technical jargons. So
Exactly.
a company, any company, if we talk about any MNC or a startup or any kind of fan company, or any company, if you pick, has a big amount of data they are working. Data is the source of everything they are working around.
Mm-hmm.
So that data needs to be analyzed in order
Mm-hmm.
to make decisions. Any decision that a company makes is revolves around the data that it has generated, the
Mm-hmm.
analytics that is being performed on the data to
Mm-hmm.
predict any kind of future decisions they want to take. And that is what data analysts do, and it comes into picture. So a data analyst is mainly responsible for performing analytics on the data, and that is very, very important because it is
Mm-hmm.
business critical,
Mm-hmm.
and that actually defines the scope and the future of a company. So
Mm-hmm.
that is the role of a data analyst. And the task, if I talk about the task which they do,
Mm-hmm.
so like I said, analysis can be of very form
Mm-hmm.
depending upon the data they have. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, if I talk in a very cut short way, then yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you have to analyze the data through different means, present the data to clients and to people, so
Mm-hmm.
that everyone can understand that okay,
Mm-hmm.
this is what our company is doing and this is what we can do in future.
Mm-hmm. Understood. Understood. So since like you are telling that you are more involved into this business decision thing, showing and representing to the clients or something, so I feel that this position is something which is high in demand. Is it something like because India is more into the startup now, all right, and even Jeff Bezos also said that like 21st century is the startup of India thing, and everybody is quite well aware that India is having a lot of the startups, which means a lot of business, which means that a lot of data analysts. Is it correct?
It is surely.
All right, all right. So that's what guys just wanted to tell you. This data analyst is one of the most in-demand profession. If you're not doing it, then you are somewhere losing, or losing this particular opportunity, and you're not able to complete it. So data analyst is very important profession, and it is non-negotiable profession. So everybody needs that. All right. Moving ahead. So Shailja, can you just turn off your camera and on it again so that we can see you? It seems that you have some. Yeah, just a second. I'm trying to see. Can anybody see Shalja?
Can you hear me, Amir?
Yeah, I can hear you, but I cannot see you. If you can try once again.
Sure.
No worries, no worries. Take your time.
Still not?
Still not, no issues. So you can do one thing. You can rejoin again. Meanwhile, I'll interact with the audience so that we can, we can
Sure.
see you also. Yeah. Perfect. So, guys, as I told you that this is the most in-demand professions. So, what I'm trying to say is like every single decisions and every single important crucial decisions, you will find data analyst sitting over there. Even if you wanted to raise the fund, you must be having a data for the coming quarters. How much exactly you uh, did a good business, and how much you have to do further. So, for all these critical decisions, a data analyst is required. So they what they do basically, they maintain the data, they and represent, they visualize the data in the most simplest way. That's what they do basically. So if you will have a chunk of data that itni performance, this performance they had, this registration they had, this is how the business are going, these are the sales which are coming, these are the products they are having, right? So what will happen is if we are having a chunk of data where I can see the sales revenue, employees and everything, if I have to go and raise the fund, how I will do it? I need a better person who can just sync all this number and represent into the beautiful pie chart and graph. Then I can better understand and take decisions and raise the fund further. Not only raising the fund, but for planning for a coming quarter, that what should be the target of the next quarter. How you can do it if you will be having a good data, right? So that's what we are doing basically. All right. So that's why business needs data a lot, and this is the most demand profession. All right. So no worries, guys. The guest is with us. She is trying to join in. She's having some issues. That's totally fine. So I guess she has joined in. So yeah, hi Shalja, we can hear you now and see you. Yep.
Finally. Okay. Sorry. I guess there's some
That's totally
internet
fine.
glitch from my end.
That's totally fine. So yes, we just wanted to know from your end, like as you said that you are totally involved into this particular business decision. So what exactly, can you just throw some light that why the business needs data analytics, the crucial point? Why, if we will, if data analysts will not be there, what will be the problem in the business?
Surely, surely. So let me explain this with an example. So
Mhm.
if I have something in terms of a data, a company has very big amount of data, and when I say big, it's basically in terabytes and even more than that. So
All
if
right.
I come up and show that data to any XYZ person that okay, this is what the data looks like in the form of a code or in the form of
Mhm.
Excel sheet,
Mhm.
the person will not be able to understand what actually the data is trying to convey.
Mhm.
But if I go ahead and perform data analytics on top of it using different dashboarding tools and come up with in the form of a chart or in the form of a diagram
Mhm.
that okay, this is the data we had. This is the suppose if I talk about the sales that
Mhm.
okay, this was the sales that this company had in the previous month. This is the
Mhm.
sales I have in this month in the form of chart. So
Mhm.
any XYZ person, even if they don't have any knowledge of any tech, they don't have any technical knowledge, they'll be easily able to identify through the diagrams, through the analysis, through the dashboard that they are being presented. So that is the importance a data analyst has, that that person is able to convey raw
Mhm.
data in the form of a useful information to clients and to business critical, to facilitate the business critical decisions. So that
Wow.
is what a data analyst does as in any kind of companies.
Oh, that's really a nice explanation, and it is exciting me to dive more into this particular profession. By the way, so just one question, maybe like the way you're explaining it seems to be the most toughest job role, but is it really tough for anybody? Like, let's take example, I'm a mechanical engineer, so if I want to become, is it something which like will be very very tough for me, or I have to do some good preparation to crack anything big, or I can try for 6 or 8 months prepare for myself, and I can give a try in this particular profession?
I'm very glad you asked this question because this is the hidden truth about this domain is that people hear about this that okay, this domain is very demanding. Everyone is talking about this domain.
Mm-hmm.
People are getting very much pay. So they come to a conclusion that this might be very tough to crack.
Mm-hmm.
That is why people are getting so much. But I just want to break this bubble
Mm-hmm.
that it is not something a very, very tough nut to crack and people cannot do that or only specific people with specific skills or specific experience can crack this. If you talk and if you ask me, anyone can do that. That is the confidence I hold because I understand what is the requirement. And like you said, if a person gives 6 to 8 months of a dedicated preparation into this domain welcomes everyone with open arms. That is the best part about this domain.
Perfect, perfect. We got a clarity now. So, all right. So, guys, just I have asked this question intentionally because I know somewhere you must be also thinking that whether I will be the right fit or not. So, we will discuss more about this. So, what we are discussing with the Salja is looking at the business needs. I'm going to give you some exact figures that, trust me, why, first of all, I would probably say it's not so easy, but it's not that tough as well. But having fact that there's more than 27 lakh job vacancies are coming in 2022 already, so vacancies are so much that if you will prepare a bit you will be getting a selected, right? Because they need in a bunch. All right, moving ahead, I just wanted to tell you guys why we are able to promise you a job guarantee is because it's being very logical, because it is not something that there's only 10 vacancies and we are making something rocket science in the courses and doing it. No, we have prepared the modules in such a way which is only required, and those tools are only required which will help you to crack the job. And why it is a 100% job guarantee? Because we have 300 plus hiring partners, and the best part is more than 27 lakh vacancies are there, so it's very obvious that if I'll schedule 10 interviews for you, you will at least crack one. So it is very practical thing. All right, moving ahead, these are the particular thing that we do. These are the the modules, the practices that we involve, that we keep on applying. We keep on updating our modules, and we keep on applying for different companies, the latest ones which are paying high, so that you should be on track and get the things done. All right. So what exactly you're going to do in this particular webinar? That in this particular webinar, you will be getting a chance to win this particular whole course for a biggest discount. So you will have the link in the chat section. Keep registering. I will move on with the next question with the Salja. And I just wanted to tell you once again, guys, that this contest is in this particular webinar itself. So get a chance to take this particular course in the biggest discount. All right. Moving ahead. So Shailja, just wanted to understand. Already, I have asked you that how, like, whether I can do it or not. It's just a kind of a hesitation that I cleared with you. But just wanted to know from your end, like, in a very layman language, if I will try to understand how I can become a data analyst and what exactly the skills that I need to learn from, and what exactly the need, the skills I have to cover up, whether it's a hard skill, soft skill. Can you just throw some lights on it? Because in the market, I'm observing too many skills are there, too many things are there, and I'm literally confused at where to and what I need to do.
Totally agree to what you said, Amir.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a big confusion in terms of people that, okay, I want to make a career in this domain, but I don't understand what actually I need to learn. And
Mm-hmm.
if you go and see on internet is flooded with a list of skills that anyone has to learn to crack these roles, which sometimes fears people that, okay, I need to learn so many things, so I'll not be able to do that. But if I can tell you in that way that both hard skills and soft skills are very important to crack this role, that is the first thing. And if I talk only specifically about the hard skills,
Mm-hmm.
then the list is not that long that how much it is propagated on the internet. You don't need to be an expert in 10 skills. But
Mm-hmm.
if I cut short the most important skills that a person needs to have to crack data analyst role, that what we currently see on our screen is starting with first is one programming language. Even if for the people, sometimes I hear this question from a lot of people that I come from a non-tech domain, so I'll not be able to code, and
Mm-hmm.
only the people who are coming from computer science domain can know coding. So
Mm-hmm.
just want to break this bubble that is why I've not written specific Python, any other programming language but Python.
Mm-hmm.
And from my personal experience, Python is the easiest language to learn because it is very much similar to English language. So the problem is not that you have to learn something very typical in terms of coding language and you have to be very geeky. Then only you can crack data analyst role. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, first and the very basic requirement is that you have to have a good understanding of one programming language. And
Mm-hmm.
Python is the most preferred language by most companies currently. That is the first thing. After that, we come to SQL. SQL is the bread and butter. That is what it is called, the bread and butter of every data person.
Mm-hmm.
So that itself tells how important SQL is for the people who want to make big in data domain. So the
Mm-hmm.
second hard skill that anyone has to acquire is SQL. Third, we come to statistics. Whenever anyone hears about statistics, they just fear that, okay, we have to be a pro mathematician, then only we'll be able to crack this role.
Mm-hmm.
Just want to clear it out. When we say statistics, it is only the basic level of statistics that is been expected from you.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to be a pro mathematician or something of that sort. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, basic level of statistics is being required because at the end of the day, you are analyzing the data, and few of the concepts are used very much in that. And lastly, all of these skills comes into picture only when you have dashboarding skills. I'm able to understand the data using Python and SQL and statistics, but if I'm not able to present the data in the form of visuals, all of that goes into vain. And that is where power tools like Power BI comes into picture, which is something very user-friendly tool which allows anyone who doesn't have any knowledge can learn Power BI very easily and
Mm-hmm.
able to represent the data in the form of visuals. So these four are the very important hard skills that anyone has to learn to
Mm-hmm.
crack data analyst role.
Understood. Understood. I mean, like, I can connect the dots that when I was in high school, we usually used to get one questions of 10 marks. And by the way, are you from CBSE board?
Yes,
All right, that's perfect. Then you must can you can relate. We usually used to get one question of 10 marks, and that is something of bar graph types, and it is one of the easiest question, and we can easily get 10 marks. So somewhere like we all have, I think that is the only level of at least mathematics knowledge you need, right?
correct.
That
Very
to
rightly pointed
understand,
out.
yeah, to understand that thing. So it's not a rocket science, guys, in terms of math that you need differentiation or integration or something. No, a basic mathematics is required. So never think that it is something which I have not done it in my intermediate, so I won't. Like, definitely you can do it. And the best thing I observed from the Shailja is being in Microsoft, she is still using Python. And what I have understood, Shailja, that generally people say that Java is tough for you, so do Python. But the reality is Python has been used at the level of Microsoft, right? And this is not something which is not considered as an alternative. It is considered as a primary also, right?
Correct. So, since you mentioned that, Amir, so I just want to talk about me that I was never a Java person. Being
Oh.
from a computer science background, I would never like Java or coding in Java.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you very rightly pointed out that Java here Python is not a alternative to Java.
Mm-hmm.
The features that Python offer in terms of data domain, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and everything is very much broad. So
Mm-hmm.
that is why companies are now moving towards Python. First of all, obviously, it is very easy to learn. That makes it more demanding. And along with that, Python offers a lot of packages to perform a different type of task from web designing to machine learning and everything. That is another reason for its popularity. So when you get things in easy way, then why not go for that when it offers so much to you rather than going for any other language which is even tougher
Mm-hmm.
and that might take much time to understand.
Exactly, exactly. And one more thing I wanted to understand, like I'm obviously very much curious about this particular data domain, but there's too many things in the industry, and with which is framed as a degree, as a fancy certification, which consists more than 200 modules, having some, and it is segregated like a data scientist. For this data scientist thing, you need to cover 14 tools, and for this profession, you need to cover 20 tools. So, do we really need to go through with these tools, or like, can you just name the one which I it can only help me to get into IT, and rest I can handle by myself?
Actually, that is what my strategy also is. I
Mm-hmm.
always believe in this thing that despite of learning 50 skills, be
Mm-hmm.
proficient in 5 skills and be that much confident that you are able to answer and do anything in that particular skill and particular domain.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said initially, that this long list of skills that companies offer that you need to learn all of these things to
Mm-hmm.
crack, this is not the case. If you go and check the job descriptions of any role that is being open for any good company or small company, you
Mm-hmm.
will see that there is a long list of skills that they're expecting. But along with that, everyone says that if you have 50-60% of those skills, then you are totally eligible to appear from the interviews. And in the interviews, whatever skills you hold, if you're confident and you're able to answer that, you're done. You are able to get a good job. Not everyone is perfect, and you cannot have all the skills that are required to crack one role. So focus on the very basics and very important niche, and
Mm-hmm.
then you can totally crack the role.
Perfect enough. And this is something which is very practical. Like even the organization also understand. Like if I'm going for an interview, probably if I'm a non-IT background person, if I'm going for an interview and they considered my CV for interview, so I mean, like, HR itself knows that they only expect few things from us. By the way, because they know that I'm from a non-IT and I have learned some
Correct,
skill set.
correct,
So probably
correct,
they
correct,
have their mindset that we have to ask only basic thing to him, right? So it is a very
correct,
practical thing. Even if we will learn 20 tools, that will might be a surprising, but that is not an add-on thing or impactful thing. But they only, and like they only will look up onto the basic part, and in spite of having so much of knowledge, they will still put me into the starting step of the organization where I have to grill myself from scratch. Is it correct?
correct, correct. Totally agree to that.
Have to
So
only
you
start
have
focus
to
on
be
the on these tools only, right?
correct, correct. Focus on the important tools. Don't focus on learning everything because in the quest of learning everything, we lose on to important things.
Exactly, exactly. So, Shailja, just wanted to know that when did you join the first organization? How long it is? Like, in which year you joined?
I joined Fractal in year 2020. I graduated in 2020, and
Mhm.
there itself I joined my first company.
And when did you realized that you are like more interested into this data thing? And which year?
So this thing actually dated back to my third year, I would say. So in my college
Which
times,
year?
I was one of those kids that okay, I don't know what to do, and I was more of enjoying my college life and everything.
All right.
And a lot of people say me this thing that this path have been very easy for you because you were a computer science graduate and everything was easy for you. But I just want to break this thing that I also yeah, that is true that I did my BTech in computer science. But in college initial years, I was also enjoying my college life and not focused on coding and placements and all of these things because of lack of proper guidance, I would say, that I
Mm-hmm.
did not know, okay, what are the career options
Mm-hmm.
and what are the fields I can explore and what are the skills I can learn.
Mm-hmm.
So in my college, when placements approached and I got guidance from my one of my mentor, then only I understood, okay, this is a field called data science. This is this is how much it is expanding, this is what we need to learn to get into this role. And
Mm-hmm.
that is where my journey of my interest into data domain started.
Understood. Understood. So it's been like more than 3 and 4 years that you just realized
Correct.
and started. And I'm sure at that moment of time, there was not so much of edtech platforms which can actually help people to, learn this skill set and everything. So just wanted to know that you know all this skill set. So as a normal audience, if I can ask that, Shailja, please do tell me how I can acquire this skill set, or if I could be at your position in 2018, and how I can polish them. So what suggestion would you give?
Amir, one thing that I just wanted to mention here is that I faced this thing because I did not have proper guidance. So if someone comes to me, that there are always two ways to crack any role. First is through proper guidance and proper study material that one can follow,
Mm-hmm.
then go through that. And second is self-learning. So, but one thing that I wanted to point out is self-learning is mostly for the people who know, okay, this is what I need to learn, this is it is expected and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So with the coming up of these many edtechs currently, it's kind of a very good opportunity for everyone that you can learn from anyone's experiences. That if I went through multiple rejections, if I went through multiple learnings and I wanted to, and now I know, okay, you need to learn only these things, not everything. So this is my learning. So taking the help of these edtechs to formulate and to work on your skills to crack a good role. And the best part is in a very less time rather than spending years and years on learning and not able to crack a good role. If one can get good assistance in terms of
Mm-hmm.
learning, because cracking a role is not only dependent on learning. The second part comes on creating live projects, which are also very, very important. So a combination of learning skills and making projects is what I did to get a good role, and this is what I suggest people that you
Hmm.
also should go for this to crack a good role.
Understood. So two thing I concluded in just few minutes. You started like as a normal kid, you were enjoying your life in your graduation, and the third year you realized. So which clearly gives me an idea that computer science major was not the main reason of getting selected. It was you who realized and started implementing in a way, and you got it. So if anybody out here can learn the skill set from anywhere, and they can do projects, case studies, why? Because it somewhere justifies my existence and shows that I have a practical knowledge, and I can justify my worth, not maybe equivalent to the experienced people, but not less than those people. So I can justify with these little things in my CV that I have done this case studies, these projects, and I have this knowledge. So I will be considered as worthy enough to be get selected, right?
For sure, for sure. I just wanted to add one thing that your projects are your experience. A lot of people say this thing that we don't have experience in this domain, we come from IT, non-IT,
Mm-hmm.
we that doesn't matter. If you have project in your resume, just consider that this project is what we call this project replaces experiences. So
Mm-hmm.
that is why projects and case studies are very important.
All right. And if I'll ask you one question, might be the stupid one, but it's still like if you will ever switch in future. So probably in interview you will say that I have worked in this projects, I have worked in this projects, and that's how you will negotiate and go ahead, right? So any which was right now also you will be using the same thing.
For sure. See, when we talk about the project that I've worked on, this is what tells us about the skills. If I just go and tell that, okay, I know Python, I know SQL, and something like that,
Mm-hmm.
that will not define the depth of the work I've done and all. But if I tell about the project that, okay, this is what I created, this is what I achieved, and this is the scale of the project that I have created, then
Mm-hmm.
that can tell the recruiter, okay, that person has an understanding of these skills. And along with that, not only theoretical understanding, the
Mm-hmm.
person is able to make a product out of the learnings that person had. So practical
Mm-hmm.
aspect is also included. That is why the combination of both is what companies prefer, and that those people are the ones who crack good roles.
Understood, understood. I'm like, just to simplify it more, like if I just say I know Excel sheet, that will not make sense that how much depth I know about Excel sheet. But if I will say that I use Excel sheet or Google sheet in data analysis and visualizing the data, it will give me more pretty idea that acha, like this things he must have gone through if he is thinking about these things. All right. So projects and the case study is the most important thing, guys. So of course, practical based learning is the only key to reach that level. All right. Now the biggest question I have. See, you yourself realize at the youngest age that is fine. That's your capabilities. But I'll consider myself as a dumbest or average one. How I will understand that I would be the right fit for data analyst? Like, what are the things I will look into myself, and I feel that this is my cup of tea.
Sure. So this is actually a very initial juggling that happens with everyone, that am I the right fit? And when
Mm-hmm.
will I be able to understand that now I'm ready for the interviews?
Mm-hmm.
Even I face the same. But
Mm-hmm.
what I did and what I can suggest is, there's all cracking a role is a three-step journey.
Mm-hmm.
First is to identify your niche, that
Mm-hmm.
okay, this is what I like, this is what I don't like. For
Mm-hmm.
the people who are into software development, who are a full stack developer, web developer, mobile developer, there are multiple areas,
Mm-hmm.
but you have to decide which area suits you much. And how
Mm-hmm.
can we decide that is by learning. Until
Mm-hmm.
you learn things, that is everything is just a talking thing, that okay, this is what it is. Once I start learning skills, then I understand, okay, this skill I like. I
Mm-hmm.
like learning Python. I like learning SQL. I like creating dashboards.
Mm-hmm.
So then you can identify that, okay, if I'm able to learn these skills, and not only learn, I'm liking these skills,
Mm-hmm.
then you can, okay, decide on the first part, that okay, now I'm clear that I
Mm-hmm.
want to make a career in data domain. Second is, all
Mm-hmm.
the skills that you have learned, and that I have been talking multiple times, that all the skills that you have learned, it
Mm-hmm.
will not be helpful until you have the soft skills in terms
Mm-hmm.
of communication and all other things, that I know these things, but I'm able to present it to the recruiter. So that is the second aspect. And third is the project part. All the learnings and all the projects that you have done, if you're not able to present it in the form of projects,
Mm-hmm.
again, that will be a blocker for you. So these are the three-step journey for anyone who want to understand that, okay, where do I stand, where I want to go, and how should I go forward into data domain.
All right, all right. That's a pretty good idea. I got it. So, just wanted to know one thing that uh, does like in your own office, do you have anybody who is from not from BTech or who is from different background itself? Like you could have realized, like you must have felt that I mean, like these are the people are coming which should be noticed. So, do you have the people with different
Actually, frankly,
ages?
there are multiple peoples, and this is what I've been telling to a lot of my friends and people who are not very confident, that they just say that you are able to do this because you're coming from this domain. So I
Hmm.
tell them this thing, that I giving few examples of the person. I have a person who was working in a very different domain,
Mm-hmm.
and had like what 10-year plus or your experience in a very different domain,
Mm-hmm.
even nowhere related to IT. And
Mm-hmm.
then that person gained the skills and switched and is working at a very good profession with a very good pay at a very good company. So there are multiple examples of the people who come from non-IT, who come from a different domain, who had different interest, who started their career in a very different area, and now later they decided on moving into this data domain, learned the skill, and now are working at top companies, at top roles, and guiding the way for other people. So there are multiple people who are very good examples for the people who are were not very sure that okay, whether I'll be able to make it or not. That's why I said, right, if you learn the skills,
Mm-hmm.
no age blocker, no field blocker will be there to get good roles in data domain.
Wow, wow. So it self explain everything, guys. Like it's us who thinks a lot and filter a lot of things that we have less marks, we are not good in mathematics, or we are like having this things. It's us who are putting so much of filter. But trust me, guys, the HRs are not putting so much of filters. They are just looking for the skills, and you can do it. It's your myth that you are discussing with your friend. That's why we have our guest Shailja. You can ask the questions, and probably we'll be taking all the questions in the Q&A. So yes, there's no age restrictions are there, no background restrictions are there. I mean, like she's herself in an example. I find her as an inspiration that as a girl she has, achieved so much and is still inspiring too many people. If she can, then why not we, for sure. All right. So somewhere we agree the fact that girls have a more challenges, like for us. So for sure, like I find it is as a a more inspiring thing. So we can take these learnings. All right. So now the question comes over here that how we can do it and how I can achieve it. For that, to achieve that, you need to learn everything from the scratch, and to get everything on place. That's what we have designed for. That we have our students who are like completely from a non-IT background, and they interacted with the teachers, they interacted with the mentors, they understood the curriculum, and that's why we implemented one-on-one mentorship, because the one-on-one mentorship is something which will help you in your hesitation, solve your problem, and go ahead. So that will be a kind of a push for you. So that's what we have implemented in our courses I'm talking about. And you will be learning everything from scratch, even if you don't know the C of a coding. And trust me, it's not that coding involved, but yes, you can do it for sure if you have that motivation. The best part is this, as Shailja said, that case study and projects are considered as an experience. So for sure, for it means that we need to go with a project based learning, and for that we have made those real business case studies, so that it not only saves your money but time as well and gives you the immediate result, right? So we have all these things. So you can check it out, Coding Invaders, the link into the chat section. As I said, we are still into the contest. Whoever will register over here will show interest over here, and whoever will be staying till the end will be getting a certificate where you can use it to get the additional discount of our data analyst course, which is of 6.5 months and promises job guarantee with a written agreement. All right. So, Shailja, we wanted to understand more thing, because I have a lot of confusion in terms of the name. Generally, when I talk to the people who come to me that I need to do this or not, so they have a confusion that should I become data scientist or should I become data analyst. And like they don't know what exactly the difference, but they feel somewhere that if the keyword is scientist, it means something, it is pro level. And in spite of that, knowing that whether they will be getting hired for that or not, but it's still like they think that data analyst is small and data scientist is something big. I have to prepare for something big, due to which they lose everything. And people are confused that I'm in sales, whether I would be a good data analyst person or business analyst. So just too many confusion. Can you please help it out in understanding that what exactly the career path is and how exactly it looks like, the hierarchy?
Sure, sure. So you very rightly pointed this out that everyone is running towards data scientist and all of these kinds of roles just because the name is very fascinating without
Mhm.
even understanding the underlying skills which are required and
Mhm.
what career prospect it is. Just we'll explain this in a very vague example so that everyone can understand. So let us consider these roles in the form of a ladder. And if I give you an example of a company that what a person does as a data analyst, let's take data analyst as the first step. So whatever data a company is collecting, the
Mhm.
work of a data analyst, even sometimes interchangeably data engineer also works into this. But yes, let's consider the first step as a data analyst. So what a data analyst does is all the data that is being generated or collected by the company is in very raw form. That raw information or raw data is not useful to the company. The
Mhm.
work of a data analyst is to get the raw data and do the analysis on that data so that raw data is now converted into useful information which company can use it for making decisions, for deciding different things. Like suppose the company is into sales, it's an e-commerce company like Amazon. So whatever data the company is getting, so from that data, after the analysis, the company will decide, okay, this is the area where the product is sold very much. So we'll
Mhm.
have to focus on the other areas, that why the product is not getting sold in this area. What are the areas? What kind of age group is buying more products? So
Mhm.
more ads will be displayed to those. So all of these things are business critical decisions which a company takes. So data analyst is what doing the analysis of the raw data. Data engineer, as you can understand, there is a word engineer in the data in the title. So data engineer is mainly the person who is handling the ecosystem of the data. Data engineer will get all the data, he will decide where to store the data, what to do with the data in terms of storing and creating pipelines, that okay, if the data is coming from a sensor, the data comes in 1 second, but if the
Mhm.
data is coming from somewhere else, the data might come in 10 minutes. So
Mhm.
all this area of like understanding the engineering aspect of the data is being done by the data engineer. But
Exactly.
when we go to the upper ladder of the ladder, it is data scientist.
Mhm.
After all the analysis and engineering is being done on the data,
Mhm.
then data scientist comes into picture. What a data scientist does is all the information that is being passed on to the data scientist, he will then gather the information, apply data science on top of it, and
Mhm.
then do the predictions. So all the predictions and modeling part is being done by the data scientist. So it is a step-by-step journey that starts from a data analyst, goes to the data scientist, and everyone has their individual roles, and all the skills are very different as per the roles.
Understood. Understood. So, one thing I wanted to ask, that, as I'm from a non-IT background, so even if I will try to learn all the tools, and if I'm a mad guy, if I learned all the tools just in a dream to become a data scientist, So is it something that on the first go, if I'll crack any interview, I'll become a data scientist, or is it something that I may get hired as a data scientist, but my job role will be of a data analyst?
Correct, correct. You got it right. So
Mm-hmm.
normally, if anyone goes and check the job descriptions of companies, you will see the restriction is 3 to 5 years of experience is what they hire. Even for entry level jobs, they don't normally companies. There are some exceptions to that that
Mm-hmm.
they will hire you as a data scientist, even you are an entry level person.
Mm-hmm.
And mostly, companies don't hire. They just mention that we need at least 3 to 5 years of experience to get you into data science role. And the reason being very clear, like I said, it's the top part of the ladder. Until you have the relevant skills, you cannot go directly to that because you don't understand data. And until you understand data, you cannot jump to data science directly. So even if you're hired as a data scientist, as an entry level person, you'll not be doing machine learning and data science. At the end, you'll be doing what a data analyst does. It's just the game of names, but
That's
data analyst is what people start with.
exactly, exactly. I got a pretty much clarity about it. Thank you so much, Shailja. So let's dive into more and understand more about it. Like for sure, like as you have told us about your journey, but as a person like me, like how we can like grow our income and how much I can earn in this particular profession. If you could give us more clarity in terms of if I'll get hired, step by step, how much I can make.
Sure, sure. So, like everyone knows, and I've been talking about that, is this data domain is first of all it's booming very much.
Mm-hmm.
That all the companies have very much opening. Like you already showed the stats that the demand for data people is increasing day by day.
Mm-hmm.
And I even heard a question. Just wanted to answer that in between here is. It's
Mm-hmm.
not like it's only the currently in the 5 years. It's only now the data domain is booming, and after 5 years everything will be gone. It
Mm-hmm.
will be nothing like that. And why I say that is because if you see yourself 5 years back, not everyone was using everything which was digital.
Mm-hmm.
Now the data is being generated in every form, in everything that you are doing, even
Mm-hmm.
from a Google search to any kind of smart devices, even our houses are becoming smart. So from medical to automobile to tech, everywhere, huge amount of data is being generated, and that is the reason so much of demand is there. That is why so many openings are there. And again, so many openings again. That doesn't guarantee that you are getting the job just because there are so many openings. But yeah, one thing that I wanted to make sure is
Mm-hmm.
data domain is not only very good in terms of opening, it also offers very good pay. You might have heard a lot of people claiming that they're getting this much package, that much package. That is not false. That is very true. You just need to have those relevant skills, appear in interviews, crack the interviews very well, then you can surely get a very good pay. And when I say very good pay, the starting salary for a data analyst role, you can expect something between 6 to 8 LPA. That is also very modest that I'm saying, but yeah, that is the starting range, I would say.
Let's get real answer from you. So you are already 2 3 years or like experience. So I'm sure that every month you must be meeting with the new joinee who are freshers, right? So can you just tell us what their salaries are when they are joining in?
Currently, the salary band is very normally between 10 to 12
Oh.
from MNCs to startups to good companies for the people who
So
are joining in
starting is
data domain.
10. Starting is 10 that you are observing on a practical note. As
Correct.
Talja said, that this the figures that I have written in the slide is a modest one. You can consider it as a worst case scenario, but people
Correct.
are starting with more than 10. And I have written with 5 year experience, I have written 20 plus. So for sure, I can write in 5 year experience, you can achieve more than 60 lakh or 70 lakh. And I guess there's a no limit in that, Shailja, right?
Right, right. See, even that might happen that with the same person who has same years of experience is getting a lower pay, and the same person who has same years of experience is getting a higher pay. So
Mm-hmm.
that depends on your skill. So there is no end to what you can achieve in this domain.
And for that, we need continuous learning and upskilling to.
Correct, correct. Even if you get the job, the learning never stops. I myself learn every day. Even if
Mhm.
I'm working for any company, for any role, the learning
Mhm.
never stops.
All right. So if you'll not upskill yourself, Shailja, then what will happen? Will you will be staying at the same level continuously, and our
Correct, correct.
juniors will keep growing and promoted, and things will happen like
my
that.
my observation is the technology is moving very fast, very fast, and
Mm-hmm.
everyone can see that now. So in that race, in
Mm-hmm.
order to be in that race and make yourself valuable for the company, you have
Mm-hmm.
to learn. You have to be learning every day,
Mm-hmm.
so that, like you said, your juniors won't replace you in 1 year.
All right. So is it irritating or interesting?
It is always interesting. It's never, like I said, it never becomes monotonous. Learning is never irritating.
Right. And it gives us the money, so of course it will motivate us.
Correct. If you talk about that, money, along with that, a good work-life balance, and everything a person desires when they aim for a good company. If you're getting everything, then every day you wake up and be motivated to learn and work.
All right. So just because you talked about the work-life balance, can I ask you what is the maximum working hours you had in Microsoft? Like, what is the when you are so much busy, when you have so much of workload, how much hours you have worked in Microsoft in a day?
Here, I won't say there was never any day I would say that the workload was so much that I would exceed anything before 8 to 9 hours. So
Mm-hmm.
even if the work is very much, there are deadlines or anything of that sort, it's
All
never hand like there is no
right.
blocker to my work and life. There is
All right.
always a balance. 8 to 9 hours is max.
All right, perfect. So 8 or 9 hours is something I'm sure, guys. Whoever is from a non-IT background, you must be grilling more than 10 to 12 hours. I know that pain. So all right, it's better to upskill yourself and get a life for sure. So as we have understood from this earlier that 6 to 7 lakh is something which is a modest one, as she said. We can definitely start with a 10 lakh packages. It's just we need to figure out that how we can do it, how we can upskill it. See, organizations are ready to pay you 10 lakh, 20 lakh, 30 lakh, 40 lakh. It's up to you how you are justifying your worth and taking the best from them, right? It is very much understood and clear that the freshers which are coming at 10, the people who are coming at 12 lakh packages, from the same HR, from the same interview, you can grab 6 lakh also. So that is totally up to you how you are justifying your worth. If you will justify your worth in a much better way, then definitely you can even aim for more than 10, 15 as well. That's totally up to your interview. All right. So the biggest question, just because you are from, I will try to ask you in a way where I can get more clear answer. That see, Shailja, what people look at you as, like you already having computer science background, already having network of those people, already having those placement support from the colleges and everything. So you did it, you cracked it, you find the job and everything. For me, how can I find a job if I don't have any network or anything?
I'll tell you for sure. So
Mm-hmm.
currently there are multiple websites
Mm-hmm.
that which offer openings where you can go and check the opening. For the very first and my most preferred one is LinkedIn, firstly, where
Mm-hmm.
you can check for the openings for every company, for every role, and they have a very good feature called alerts. So anyone can go and create alerts for like particular location, particular job role, particular experience that you have. You can create alerts, and the LinkedIn will itself will collate all the openings that are there,
Mm-hmm.
matching your requirements, and send it to you. So the only task which is left from your end is to go and apply for a job. So LinkedIn is on first thing. Second, we have Naukri.com, which is another very good platform where people can create their profiles, and all the openings and the recruiters are there on that platform, and you can directly apply for the roles very easily. Third, again, is a very good platform called Insta Hire, where you can instantly apply for any kind of openings that are there for the company listed on that. So
Mm-hmm.
these are few very good websites. Along with that, there is one thing is we are applying for the company. Second thing is I get a lot of question that which company do we apply for? Whether which company is good, which is bad, whose work life balance is good or not, who pays how much, and all of that sort.
Mm-hmm.
So you can refer to websites like Glassdoor. They
Mm-hmm.
give you a very good perspective of what company is, what are good, what are bad, people's opinion and their feedback about the company, the salary range for a particular pay. So
Mm-hmm.
these are few websites that I talked about, which you can refer to apply and understand any kind of job role and any kind of company.
All right, all right. And the best part is the alerts that you said. I wanted to tell you guys what exactly she means with alerts. That turning the notification on, and they will, whenever any HR will post your job application, you will be the first one will be getting notified, or an email or a app notification, so you can directly submit. And there's some quick features are also there in LinkedIn called Easy Apply, where you can just one tap CV submit, all done. So you can be the first one to grab the attention as well. So things have developed so much that it's very rare that being on LinkedIn you won't find a job. You will see that it is very easy. and you can definitely do it. And for that, uh, how you can grab it, and to win the game of LinkedIn, you need to be very much structured in your profile. What I mean to say that, I'm sure Shailja must be getting a lot of calls, lot of big organization offer, because her profile is well structured. If I look up on her bio, I will find everything what she does. If I will find everything with her experience, her projects, and everything, and so that's why people must be reaching out to you more. But for us, why we are not getting so much of calls? Because we are not so much active on LinkedIn and it is not updated. Let me give you an example, guys. People, how people finds you. So it's very simple. The way we search anything on Amazon, the way we Google search anything on a Google, it only catches those particular website and the product on the Amazon where the those particular keywords are there in their description. What I meant to say that, if in my if suppose Selja's bio consists of SQL, and Excel sheet, and the Power BI and everything. If any HR is looking for a Power BI expert, or the data analyst having these skills, Selja's profile will come on top, because her whole profile is consist of these keywords. And I'm sure not everybody is so much of experience to maintain all this, and you can do that, because we also help you in this particular career center, and we have our expert available who will help you to make your resume, LinkedIn profile in such a way where your visibility first of all should increase so much that you start getting so much of calls. And then we help you to with the multiple mock interviews, so that whenever you give interview, you should sound like an experienced one, and HR can see the confidence in you, and they can easily get convinced that yes, this guy has something where I can look forward. All right. And we will boost your the effort. How? By, because we are already an expert in this field, so we will save your time and give you the immediate result. And you need that mentoring. I mean, like, Shailja must have also interacted with her mentors. She said that she was interacting with their mentors, seniors. She has those circles. So any which way, at the end of the day, we are somewhere taking guidance from our seniors or any organizations. So that will
Correct.
help us to save time and avoid mistakes. And secondly, having too much of vacancy is not the only guaranteed way. I'm just repeating the line of Selja, is not the guaranteed way to get a job. You need a proper structure and the resources, and we have that hiring partners that will help you to schedule it. So to remind you again, we are still into this contest, and I'm sure everybody is liking this particular webinar where I'm asking all sort of a questions. And now we will be moving towards the Q&A session where I'll be picking your question. But just to remind you guys that in this particular webinar, if you have given so much of time, you can avail our data analyst course, which promises job guarantee in 6.5 months with a written agreement in our job guarantee. But you can get this particular course with the additional discount if you will apply right now, and the link is into the chat section. All right. So moving ahead, I know, Salya, you're running out of time, but still, if you can figure out, if you could help our audience, because since the time you joined, they didn't said hi, but they started asking questions, because you have that designation, so people try to connect to you. So I have a bunch of questions ready, and I'll just take this question, guys. So hold on, the questions which I have. So the one question that is from Abhishek M. Simple question. Seems like a coffee with current question. Business versus data analyst or analytics. Like, he's trying to ask, business analyst or data analyst.
So I would say a lot of companies do not even distinguish between these two roles. A lot of companies say business analyst equals to data analyst.
Mm-hmm.
But if I tell this, like I just quoted this thing because that depends on the company. Some company offer you two different role as a business analyst and a data analyst.
Mm-hmm.
Just want to identify, if you want to identify what each role offers, data analyst person is totally involved in the analysis of the data aspect. That how
Mm-hmm.
the data look like, how the data should look like, what are kind of analysis and all the tools and all of that part. Basically, all the tech part is involved. But when a business analyst comes into picture, the analysis of the data is also being done by that person. But along with that, there is a kind of hidden consultancy also being offered by that person, because like I said, the word business is involved in that. So to talk to clients, to understand the data, to present the data, to get the requirement from that, okay, that is what they require and this is how we should present and all of these things,
Mm-hmm.
that also comes into picture. So business analyst, I would say, is a broader domain. Data analyst comes into that. But a lot of companies consider these two roles as a common role. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so data
But
analyst and business
what
analyst.
I understood is, Shailja, like the tools that we have, like the tools that you are recommending to run, which is like the Google Sheet, Power BI, and SQL and everything. See, we use Excel sheet everywhere in every profession. Even a CA also use Excel sheet. Even a HR also use Excel sheet. Even my teacher also uses Excel. Everybody use Excel sheet. Similarly, if I will be learning all these tools in a data domain, if I'll go into the financial field, I can become a financial analyst. If I'll go into the logistic field, I can become a logistic analyst. Even I guess CA also have a data analyst to maintain the transaction. And if I'll go in a big companies like your, I can become a data analyst or data engineer like you. So this is somewhere
Correct.
like applicable everywhere. It is not something very much difference. And guys, we are from a non-IT backgrounds or having a little experience, but it's still like, you will be considered somewhere over here itself. Don't get so much confused. Just learn the tools and you have the options. Go wherever you want to go. All right. So another
Correct.
question from Yogesh: is it possible for art or commerce student they make career in data analysis in a starting?
Surely.
What package
Surely.
provides NMC name? Oh, no, it's not NMC, Yogesh. It is MNC company. So, all right. So Yogesh is asking that he's from art and commerce background. So, and he become a data analyst? And what will be the starting package in MNC companies?
Surely. So, Yogesh, like I said, that the age, gender, your background, so
Mm-hmm.
all of these will never be a blocker. For
Mm-hmm.
sure, you have to be a graduate. I heard someone saying that I'm a 12th pass and will I be able to get a job? The
Mm-hmm.
minimum requirement from a person is you have to be graduate. If you are
Exactly.
not graduate into BTech or computer science or anything of that sort, don't worry.
Mm-hmm.
That is not the only thing that would be like, okay, you are not graduate into this particular domain, so you cannot get a job. It's
Mm-hmm.
nothing like that. Having said that, a lot of companies, there are few companies that have this restriction, but they are very, very few, and there are always exceptions to that.
Mm-hmm.
But if you come from a different domain,
Mm-hmm.
you have to upskill yourself with all the relevant skills, and that's the only requirement. No other age, gender gap, preference, experience is what can stop you.
All right. I have one interesting question, Shailja, from Priyanka Otta. Why
Mhm.
companies will hire non-tech background students?
That's actually a very good question, I would say. So, like I said, right, you are a non-tech person only when you don't know the skills. What is the definition of a non-tech? If I say Python, SQL, and all of these things are tech, so
Mm-hmm.
you remain non-tech not by your degree,
Yeah,
but by the absence of those skills. Once
exactly.
you acquire those skills, even if you are a non-IT person in terms of
Mm-hmm.
your graduation, you are
Mm-hmm.
not a non-tech person now. You have the technology in terms of learning, you have the technology in terms of your project. So now you're not non-tech, and that is why you're getting hired.
That's amazing answer. Like, I mean, Priyanka, for sure, it means that, degree doesn't define that I'm technical or not. So just to give you one example, the guy who asked that I'm 12th pass, for sure he cannot be eligible for a full-time job. But if he acquires right skill, he can do freelancing. Am I correct, Shelja?
Correct, correct. Surely you can, with your graduation, you can surely go ahead with that, and that will be a very side earning as well as side learning.
Exactly, exactly. So I hope you got the answer, Priyanka. Moving to the next question from Sampath. Sir, I have 4 years of mechanical engineer experience and 2 years of IT recruiter experience. Can I make a transition?
Like I said, you come from a different domain, no issues in that. I
Mm-hmm.
think you already have taken a step into IT, maybe into a different domain, but you are already a part of IT now. You
Mm-hmm.
just have to upskill yourself again to move into another different domain.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Got it. Got it. One good questions. Thank you for the answer, Shailja. From Bala. Um, Bala. Okay. So is it only Bala or Bala Krishna something? Maybe South Indian people have the name start with this. Okay. So I would like to know the challenges you faced while working as a data scientist.
Again, a very good question, Bala.
Mm-hmm.
So challenges were part of initially everywhere. Challenges are everywhere. Today also, if I'm solving anything, I face challenges. It's not
Mm-hmm.
like I got this job, so now the
Mm-hmm.
challenges part is over.
Mm-hmm.
First challenge initially was to crack the roles.
Mm-hmm.
that I need to learn everything, because obviously, if you are a computer science person, then too the preparation level is very different from the work you are doing. So anyone who is even the working in the same domain has to prepare very well to crack any kind of interview. So the
Understood.
challenges came into that. I also faced multiple rejections, but it's not like that I just applied for a company and I got the role and here I am. So
Mm-hmm.
multiple rejections you will face. You have to cover that and you have to be motivated that I
Mm-hmm.
will make it up.
Mm-hmm.
And once you get the role, the challenges part I would say actually start then, because now you are working for a very big company who is dealing with global data. So
Mm-hmm.
every day you face problems and challenges which
Mm-hmm.
you have to come up with solutions. So all of the knowledge that you have gained till now, this is the time to implement that. So the challenges are sometimes big, sometimes small, tricky also, but at the end of the day, you have to do that because that's your job.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but that is also very exciting and that makes your life going.
Understood. Thank you so much. Another question from Shilpi Das. Hi Shailja, I am 2021 pass out CSE branch. I really wanted to work with the top MNCs, but I'm not getting any chance though, just because of difficult coding rounds. Will it be helpful for me if I learn DA? So can I get placed into MNC?
Sure, sure. The people who fear from coding, right? I guess data domain is best for them.
Mm-hmm.
Because here, like I said initially, the expectation is you not to be very geeky. And when I say geeky, you don't have to be a hardcore coder. So
Mm-hmm.
even, and this is a very good example for all the other viewers, you can see that she is a computer science graduate and she also has, and why I'm saying this thing, because not every computer science graduate loves to code and has like competitive coding aspect.
All
So if
right.
you think that you are not able to crack software roles or SDE roles and all of those because of coding, then data domain is the best suitable for you.
Understood. Thank you so much. There's one more guy, Sharveshwar Kumar. Hi Shailja, I passed out BSc IT in 2012. So I'm sure he is your senior. Okay. And having
Surely.
10 years of experience in sales and marketing, is it possible to switch now?
I guess I gave this example, right? A person who was a veteran working in a different domain in 10 years. And see, it's not like something will be, everything will be very easy for you. I just don't want to be like, okay, ho jayega aaram se. It will not be that easy for you because you have a good amount of experience in a very different domain. You have to justify that experience. And with so many years of experience, you have to start learning everything from the scratch like a student. So the
Mm-hmm.
journey will be difficult. But if you ask me that anything will be a blocker to you because of your experience, no, it won't be. You just have to learn.
Exactly.
Learning will be tough. It will require a lot of effort from your end, but there will be no blocker because of your previous experience.
Exactly, exactly. So I wanted to add one more point since because I have also done the sales and marketing. So I'm sure if you have a 10-year experience, you're not at the executive level, you must be managing people. And if suppose you are managing people, then you are also managing the performance. If you are also managing the performance, you're also managing the data. If you are into the sales and marketing, then you are more into the digits. So for sure, you can become a good analyst. So you are the right fit for sure. So one question, just wanted to ask you, Shelja, just because I got this interesting question. Anybody in your circle who is like tech savvy or any person who joined, you usually give one example, right? There's one person of 35 or 38 years. Can you please tell us so that we can relate with them?
Yeah, so there's a person guy. I came when I came to know about that person's story, I was very much motivated because
Mm-hmm.
earlier I used to think that you can learn anything because you're a student, you're a fresher. But when I came to know about that person, and there are multiple stories to that. So
Mm-hmm.
first one, this person is like 35 plus years of age and experience, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just missing on that part.
Mm-hmm.
But the moral here is that he had so much years of experience into a very different domain, nothing related to IT. He was a veteran and he was serving
Mm-hmm.
in our country
Mm-hmm.
in different forces. But later he decided that because of the trend, he also came to know about his, maybe because of any other kind of motivation from his children or anywhere of that sort, but he
Mm-hmm.
got motivated. So I see him and I see that okay, he gets motivated after working into a very different domain and nowhere related to IT. He
Mm-hmm.
decides to learn and he learns and he cracks the role. And now he's working and has very good proficiency and managing a lot of people and working into data domain like a pro. Again,
Mm-hmm.
another example is for a person who is into civil services and there's nowhere related to data and all of those things. Then he comes to know about data, and then he's like, I'll also start learning coding. It's not like I'll leave my job and go into that, but I'll also learn this thing. Out of
Mm-hmm.
interest, people are learning. Out of career aspirations, people are learning.
True.
Nothing in the terms of age and experience is stopping them.
Mm-hmm.
That's the big motivation for me also.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Shailja. Just a last question. Uh, Somebody's asking that DA profession is in danger because of ML and AI, and is it something that will reduce the salary of a data analyst in future, or it will be like? Are you getting my question? That what exactly the kind of fear
I
they have?
totally get it.
We were
And
coming.
I have a very good example to state that part.
Mm-hmm.
I already mentioned about the ladder, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let me put it in a different way. Data
Mm-hmm.
analyst is a different job.
Mm-hmm.
ML engineer, AI engineer, data scientist is a different job. And when I say different job, what I mean here is,
Mm-hmm.
suppose I want to apply any kind of machine learning algorithm on any data that I have.
Mm-hmm.
The data that is comes in the raw form, no machine learning engineer or a data science person can directly apply AI and or ML on top of it. You
Mm-hmm.
have to do a lot of data cleaning and a lot of data processing and a lot of things, because the data that comes is not exactly the data that algorithms can process. So there
Exactly.
is a lot of initial cleaning and things that are done, and that actually is 60% of a data science person work. Not rest 40% is other things. So
Exactly.
never think that data analyst job will go into, like, it will not be so much popular, because these three are kind of interrelated. A lot of people
Mm-hmm.
possess all the three skills later in their future, but you cannot say that this can overtake this skill. No, these are three separate skills, and
Mm-hmm.
all the companies demand for all the three people
Mm-hmm.
in very different requirements are there.
So nothing to get scared about.
Nothing at all.
Thank you so much. The last question. That is any company provides work from home for a data analyst. To answer that, but I'll stop you. I just wanted to know from your end. Last time, I usually follow on your LinkedIn and everywhere. So just wanted to know that do you get a chance to travel a lot with your friends and interact with your relatives, and in this particular profession, how exactly your life is in this particular domain?
So I would say I've been lucky in terms of the company. And the question also is, specifically after COVID, I'm not very sure what the situation was before that, because I was just a college student that time. So I was not aware about the company culture. But now there are long list of companies who offer you hybrid, who offer you permanent work from home.
Mm-hmm.
There are very few companies who are strictly telling people that you have to now work for 5 days, but good companies now, there are long list of companies who are saying that okay, you can work from office, you can work from home. They are
Mm-hmm.
not stopping you from enjoying your life and creating a very separate bar between your work and life. And so is mine. I'm able to spend a lot of time with my family, with my friends. I have a personal time for me. I'm able to dedicate a very good amount of time for the company I'm working. So it's nothing like that, that in you working for something, so your life will only revolve around your work and
Mm-hmm.
nothing else. And that is the concept of work-life balance. And I'm very happy to tell that a very long list of companies are now promoting good work-life balance by hybrid and permanent work from home culture. So don't worry into that aspect. If a lot of people have restrictions to move into different cities and all of those things,
Mm-hmm.
if that is the case, you can surely go for those companies who are offering permanent work from home, and you'll find a lot many companies.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Elja. We got a pretty much clarity, and thank you for the detailed explanation on every single question. What was very satisfying for all the audience. I'm sure, audience, like you have enjoyed and you have got your doubts cleared. All right. So
Thank you.
that's I guess that's all with Shailja. And Shailja, would you like to say anything at the end before going, so that the audience should get a lesson from you? Anything?
First of all, thank you so much for having me here, and I'm hoping that I was able to answer all of the questions.
Mm-hmm.
One thing before leaving that I want to say everyone is, don't reject yourself. Maybe company can reject or not reject you, but don't reject yourself considering that I'll not be able to do this because I have this age, I have this gender, I'm coming from a different domain.
Mm-hmm.
Give it a shot, give it a try. You never know, you can surely make it very big in life. So don't reject yourself, and
Mm-hmm.
you can make it big. All the best.
Thank you so much. So, guys, I know that you have liked it a lot interacting with Shailja. So, here's the link in the chat section of Shailja LinkedIn's profile. So, you can go and you can ask questions if you want. Whenever she'll get time, she will be happy to interact with you all. So, you can stay in touch. Thank you so much, Shailja, for having you
Thank you.
here. And see you again in the next webinar.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Yeah. Have a nice day. All right. So I guess like everybody have enjoyed this particular webinar. We had a lot of questions, but stay here, stay here. The webinar is not end yet, so we have a lot to discuss. So I got too many questions, so we will answer all the questions. But for sure, how we will help you to achieve your career in a data analyst. So what exactly Coding Invaders are doing? So we have that one-on-one personal mentorship, which will clear all your doubt and help you to find the reality check that where you are standing and what you need to work on. And secondly, we have exclusive career packages, fast track job search, and 100% job guarantee. To be very honest, job guarantee something is not we are just saying it verbally. We have that agreement. You can go to the website, open the job agreement, and read it. We give job agreement before enrolling so that you have that authority and the safest mindset that you should feel safe that yes, here my time and money is safe, right? So if you're not placed, your 100% money will be refunded. That is the best thing. I mean, like, what else is needed if somebody is providing that way? I must say that people should try and at least get a counseling call by clicking the link in the chat sections and entering your details. So if I talk about the Coding Invaders more about the personal mentorship, here's some little screenshot where you can see that the working professionals and the fresh graduates are interacting one-on-one with the mentors. And the best part is the mentors are hired in enough numbers in our organization where they are available 7 days a week. And even if you're coming at the late evening, you can interact with them because everybody is available at different time. And it is not something which requires 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours of time to study these courses and the skills. It only requires, trust me, it only requires 1 or 1.5 hours daily. And you also accept the fact that we scroll Instagram for more than 2 hours, right? So if we will spend at least 1 hour daily, we can make something big. Why not, like, we should do it for sure. So even if you're coming at 6 p.m., 7 p.m., 8 p.m., we have that web portal available where you will be practicing everything and you will be getting the real time responses and the answers. For sure, if you have some doubt, you can chat and you can book a slot, and that is unlimited, by the way. It is not something which is limited. You can interact with the mentors, get the things cleared ASAP in just one click. Here's the examples I have shown you. These are the mentors we have who will be helping you. And what do you get along with the personal mentors? So in this personal mentors, you will be getting extra practical session with TOP mentors, and you will be having access in the chat 7 days a week and unlimited one-on-one video calls. I mean, like, how cool it is. If you are having some doubt, you're working, you're having some doubt, you just put a call and the mentors is in front of you, and you're discussing that this problem is there, this problem is there, and this is where I'm getting stuck, how to do it and everything. The mentors are available just in one tap, and this is not something which is limited, like twice or thrice in a week. You can do it anytime. Like, you can have unlimited video calls with the mentors, get the things done, so that you should be on track and you should utilize your money that you have spent and get the result out of it. I mean, like, that's the best thing. All right, because I personally see personal mentorship as a personal networking thing. Like, these mentors can refer me to the good organization, by the way, if I have a good relation with them. So it's a good opportunity. All right. And if I'll talk about that convenient study timing, people have a different mindset. Some people wants to study, live sessions. Some wants a good webinar from the industrials. Everything is there. So industrial experts are there from Deloitte, Amazon, and Infosys. And if you are interested into live sessions, so it happens twice in a week. If you will miss, you will get the recorded one. Or else you have unlimited one-on-one video call. What's the problem? You can still discuss your issues with the mentors. Now, I'm just showing you some examples over here. You can see she's Rama, she's our student who was 11-year experience, 77% salary hike, learned from Coding Invaders in 6.5 months. Now she is having a stable life. Moving ahead, this example, he's a fresher and he got the package with the Coding Invaders and the starting salary was 5 lakh. Now, Why he is an example? Because he's a fresher, he don't know anything, he's not even an engineer. Still he started with 5 lakh, which means a fresh mind is getting this much package. And people like you who have already interested and researched a lot, if practiced in the right way, you can understand how better package you can give. And Salja have told us that the way she is looking at the people, and in her team itself, she's observing that people are coming with 10 lakh packages as a fresher. That's so much. That's in the beginning, it's too much. Yeah, it's very nice. And if I'll talk about the study format, as Selja said, that it should be case study and project based. So yeah, we have made the whole modules group projects, modules on LMS, learning management system. We have web based portal where you can just log in and studies everything. And we do take exams to get a better clarity that you have completed the modules in a proper way or not. If you will not complete the modules or pass the exam, we will push you again to complete it, and you have to complete it and master it, then only you will moving forward. That sort of a filtration that we do, and that's why our placement rate are more than 90%. We have Q&A session for sure. Without it, it doesn't make sense. So we have Q&A sessions, career webinars, so that you can relate with the alumni who are just like you and making more than 10 lakh 20 lakh, so you can get a reality check and you can get to understand that where you are standing right now. And we have interactive webinars and a lot more, like master classes from industry expert who are from Amazon, Philips, Deloitte, lot more. So yeah, it's just you are just one step away. I know you guys are motivated. If you are listening to me for more than 1 hour till the end, you are interested. You just need a counseling call. And once you go to the counseling call, you'll get a pretty much clarity. Start taking actions. More than 27 lakh vacancies are there, and still if you're not taking actions, you're losing a huge chunk of opportunities of earning money in front of your table. People are doing it. I'm trust me, guys. People from banking sector, receptionist professions are becoming data analysts and data scientists and nailing the industries. Don't think too much. Have a call. See, the link is in the chat sections. Another example, Amitabh Chaudhary. He was a program manager, 5 lakh, now is into the 8 lakh. I mean, like, can you understand 3 lakh increment in just 6 months? I mean, like, seriously, 3 lakh. He's not something like, see, I'll tell you one example, guys. It is not something that you have to quit your job and then do it. No, no, no. Don't think that way. It doesn't work like that. If you're into the sales, if you're in any professions, have a dream to get into data analyst in high packages, it is not something that somebody will be asking you to leave the job and then go into it. No, that will be the dumbest decision ever. The course is of 6.5 months. All right, just figure out 1 hour or 1.5 hours on a daily basis in the late night, because we have made that digital lab as well, where whenever you will be working on it, you will be getting a real time examples as well. All right, so real time corrections as well. So you have to just give 1.5 hours, start polishing those skills. And once you have completed the course, because you have to do the job, right? Because it is totally friendly, it is 24-hour available, and it is web based login for sure. Anytime you can study, and the mentors are also available, right? Just figure out 1.5 hour time and start giving on a daily basis. And in just 2 or 3 months, you will start getting tools. And in just 4 or 5 months, you will be almost completed with a lot of tools and exams. And your job is going on. And you have also completed data analyst in just 6.5 months. And you are giving an interviews. And probably, if you will schedule more than, for sure, we schedule more than 300 applications, by the way. So if you will start giving interviews, because we help you, we will bring that interview in front of you. We will schedule your interview. So it is very clear that if I'm having my job and I'm spending my time to learn this skills in 6.5 months, I'm ready. Now the Coding Invaders team is scheduling 10 calls every month. And for sure, in the worst case scenario, out of 10, at least I can crack one. And I will keep on cracking the interviews till the time I find the highest packages. So if I will get high package, which is more than my previous job, I will switch it. That is the safest one. So it is not something that you have to just switch and then you have to leave everything. No, 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 no. Just 1 hour on a daily basis. Don't leave your job. Play safe and smart. You can get it. So if I talk about the curriculum, only these curriculums are required. Don't think so much of big, right? You don't require that. You are smart enough to make your own career if you have this skill set. And once you are into this particular domain, you will definitely grow. See, wherever field you are in, you started as a fresher, but did you do any sort of courses to get any promotion? No. By the experience, you got it. Similarly, learn this skill set like Google Sheet, Statistic, Power BI, SQL, Python. Take a screenshot, and and get a career placement from us. You will get a job easily. So that's not a big deal. You have to learn a few skills, and you will get it for sure. All right. So moving ahead, so apply for the course right now, guys. As I said, that we are going to start our job guarantee batch right in just like by tomorrow, or like it is valid like in this webinar itself. So we are going to start the job guarantee batch, and we will be providing the agreement to you, where it is clearly mentioned that if you won't get a job, 100% money will be refunded. So this is not something which we are saying on words, we are giving on written, and it is a legit way. No other edtech platform provides that way in a written way. So we are the one in the Asia who's providing like this. So go and register yourself. The best part is you have attended the webinar till the end, guys. So you will be getting additional offer and the benefit for a job guarantee batch, which has only 120 seats. So all the people who have not registered yet, please click the link in the chat section, go register yourself, and then get a counseling from call from the data counselors and get the things done. The batches are starting soon, and the offer is valid till this particular webinar. So utilize this webinar opportunity, okay, and get the maximum discount and achieve your goal. And for sure, you all can avail this benefit because you have attended the webinar. So we have added additional filter, so all the people who have only attended the webinar will be getting a chance to get an additional discount in a job guaranteed way. All right, I hope everybody have understood. If I'll talk about the pricings and everything, so we have EMI programs. So even if you don't have a chunk of money to investing, that's totally fine. So we have cool and clear EMI programs that developed especially for the people who cannot pay now. If you're not able to pay now, that's totally fine. You can start learning now, pay later. How exactly it works? That is the EMI process that you can start paying from the next month. So there's no fees of the opening, no interest is involved. All right. And the best part is we have removed the interest part. So we will be paying interest for you. If I'll talk one more thing, the best part about the Coding Invaders is we believe in referrals. So if you have friends, right, so you can refer them. The best part is if you will refer your friend, and if your friend joins, you both will get 5,000 discount in your courses. So let's suppose the course price is X, and you invited your friends, you will also get 5,000 less, and your friend will also get 5,000 less. So the more you will refer, the more discount will happen, the more cashback, or the bonus you will be getting. And if you are a person who believes in helping other, having a good circle, and the more you will share the knowledge, the more wise you will become. So the more you will share and help your friends to grow, you will also grow. And technically your price will become zero, like in terms of course price will become totally zero, and you all can win together. So utilize this opportunity if you're having some challenges and get the things done. Thank you so much for joining the webinar. I'm really very happy that you guys had a patience, you watched me till the end. Thank you so much. And you can still check the link in the chat section. If you haven't registered, go register. At least if you're not in the mood to get a call, but at least go register, so that the team should know that you have attended the webinar. Later on, that's totally up to your mood, you can decide later as well, but still go register yourself. I hope everybody have liked this particular webinar, and I hope you find it useful. You can comment down if you liked the webinar. If you can comment down if you liked, if I picked up your questions and your doubt or solved. It will motivate me so that we can continuously bring such beautiful and amazing webinar for you all, so that it boost your confidence and everything. All right, so link is in the chat section to go and register. And here's my link in the chat section. You can connect me on LinkedIn. If you have separate questions, wanted to talk separately to me, you can also do that. My link is into the chat section. My LinkedIn profile is there, so you can interact with me and we can have a detailed conversation, because I love to interact people. All right, so thank you so much, guys, and I hope you have enjoyed it. See you in the next webinar. Have a nice day, and connect me on the LinkedIn if you want to have another questions or any detailed conversation. Have a nice day. Bye.